I mean, that's the kind of offensive explosion that gets you hyped for the whole tournament.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to break it all down right here, right now.
That's right. We've got this awesome post-game write-up, and we're going to take a deep dive into all the juicy details. So whether you're the kind of fan who's glued to every game, or you just want to know why everyone's buzzing about this Hagens kid.
This supposed next big thing, yeah.
Exactly. We've got something for everyone in this deep dive.
You know what's crazy? The score line, like, yeah, 10-4 is a blowout for sure, but it doesn't even tell the whole story.
What do you mean?
Well, it wasn't just the quantity of goals, right? It was the way they were scoring. Like,
Yeah.
their puck movement was insane. The attacks were relentless. Germany just couldn't keep up. It was a clinic.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like every time I blinked, the puck was in the back of the net.
Right. And it's not like it was a one-man show either, which is really promising for Team USA. A lot of guys stepped up.
Okay, but we got to talk about Hagens. Everyone's calling him the next McDavid.
Right.
Projected #1 pick in the 2025 draft.
I mean, there's a reason for all the hype.
And he delivered. 2 goals, 2 assists. I was expecting big things, but he even exceeded my expectations.
That first goal, though,
Oh, yeah.
a beautiful play. Started with a pass from Perreault.
Perreault had a heck of a game himself. 2 goals, 1 assist.
Exactly. So Perreault sends that cross-ice pass to Hagens, and Hagens, like, fakes the shot so convincingly, opens up the goalie's 5-hole, and tucks it in.
Just textbook. Textbook skill, textbook hockey IQ.
It's like he can see the play unfolding before it even happens.
Okay, so we got to talk about Hutson, too. 5 assists. This kid's a playmaking machine.
He is, but some people might say, oh, well, he had, talented line mates.
Sure, yeah, but
But it's more than that. You got to look at how he sees the ice. There were a couple of those no-look passes.
yeah, I saw those.
Yeah.
Just threading the needle through traffic.
Exactly. And he sets his teammates up perfectly. He wasn't forcing anything. He was dictating the play with his vision. That's what sets him apart.
It's what separates the good from the great.
Exactly.
Now, to be fair to Germany, it wasn't a complete shutout. They did manage to get a few goals on the board.
Yeah, they put up a fight. Julius Sumpf, David Lewandowski, and Timo Rückdahl, they all had some good moments.
They didn't just roll over.
No, definitely not. They showed some grit, but talent-wise, they were just outmatched.
So let's walk through some of the key moments of the game. I mean, we touched on that first Hagens goal.
Right, so Hagens scores early in the first, sets the tone, and then the second period is where Team USA really takes over. Hagens and Perreault, they're clicking like they've been playing together for years. It was beautiful to watch. And then near the end of the second, Svoboda and Perreault add goals, and that pretty much puts the game out of reach.
Yeah, I can only imagine what was going through the minds of the German players at that point. Must have been tough.
Oh, yeah. Demoralizing, for sure. But they did come back with a couple more goals in the third period.
Right, something Lewandowski.
Yep. So they definitely battled until the end. It was more about pride at that point than a realistic chance of a comeback.
So let's look ahead. Next up, the U.S. faces Latvia, and Germany's got to play Finland.
Ooh, interesting matchups.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, for the U.S., Latvia is a different beast. They're not going to be as offensively skilled as Germany, but they play a tight defensive game. Their goaltending is usually solid. They're going to try and frustrate the Americans, slow the game down, wait for those mistakes. It'll be a good test to see if they can adapt. Can they still score against a team that's going to try and shut them down?
And what about Germany? Taking on Finland.
That's tough. Finland is always a contender at the World Juniors. They're physical, they're skilled, they have a system, and they play it well. It's hard to break down. Germany needs to forget about this loss, reset, and come out strong. Because if they let Finland dictate the pace, it could be another long game for them.
All right, so to sum it all up, huge win for Team USA. Hagens puts on a show, but there's a lot of talent shining on that team.
For sure. And, it makes you think, right? If this is what we can expect from Team USA, especially from guys like Hagens, are we witnessing the start of a new era for American hockey? Like, what does this mean for the future of the sport?
Wow, that's a great question to consider. There's so much potential on this U.S. team. It'll be fascinating to see how they handle the pressure and how they adapt to each opponent.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'd love to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think? Is this a new golden generation for USA hockey? Let us know. And until next time, keep your stick on the ice.
So yeah.